Today we're launching the campaign with a press conference here in London. Our main concern is protecting civilians. This is the underlying reason for doing this. And we're convinced that if fully autonomous weapons, killer robots, were to come into existence, that it would erode the protection for civilians that have built up over the years. We think that killer robots would cross a fundamental moral line. You should always have humans involved in the life and death decisions that are made on the battlefield. You shouldn't let a machine decide what to target and when to pull the trigger. I think that's just wrong. We don't see how they're going to be able to distinguish properly between civilian and military targets. We don't see how they're going to be able to make what's called a proportionality determination, which requires that the military benefit of attack outweighs the dangers to civilians.
We wanted to launch this campaign because we think that we are capable of stopping it before it happens. We believe it would totally transform the face of warfare, and it would launch a new weapons race that we do not need in an over-weaponized world.
We believe there's a fundamental moral boundary that should never be crossed, where we as humans cede the responsibility for violent force to machines.
We're also very concerned about proliferation. The thought of a robotic arms race, a killer robots arms race, is frightening and not at all unlikely. That's why we are going for a preemptive prohibition on these weapons before any country acquires them.
The idea is that they're going to have swarms of robots. That's the plan, and they use that term swarm. Now the problem there is a very blinkered US approach, and it's blinkered because they believe we're the high-tech country, we're the ones who will have this technology. But what about the rest of the people? You know, China's in great development. We have already seen with drones that 76 countries now have them at least. And there's going to be massive proliferation. There's big money here. This is big corporations competing with one another with big money. So everybody's going to have these. So it's all right to have your big advantage now, but it's not going to be a big advantage or a bloodless war when everybody else has them. And I've no idea as a roboticist, I can tell you what will happen when people will have secret programs in their robots for fighting strategies. What will happen when one lot of robots meets another? It's not going to be good for civilians, I can tell you. You know, never mind big powers making them, other small powers could make them. And one of the things that's been talked about in the United States is that it's difficult to think of these things, it's difficult to develop them, but they're damn easy to copy.
There's a simple point, which is that these weapons are being developed without any public debate. So we have these systems that go and attack radar systems, and if the radar system's on the top of a hospital, then it'll attack the radar system and blow up the hospital. But we haven't had any public debate about these systems. They're just simply being developed in the background, and it's that sort of slide towards greater autonomy, completely in the dark without any public debate, that we're very concerned about.
If we don't act urgently now, we'll be in a position where more and more money is thrown at research and development of fully autonomous weapons. These will become ever more ingrained into future war planning and military doctrine. And if we don't stop them now, it will be very difficult in the future.
I think that really the idea of delegating the decision delegating the decision to kill to robots is just morally wrong. In fact, to not prohibit these, I think, is morally outrageous.
Imagine fully autonomous weapons with no human beings involved in targeting and killing on the air, on the land, and in the sea. That is what my country is aiming for in its war plans, and we aim to stop them. Thank you.